A lost hiker. Getting lost is not as hard as one would think, especially in the woods. Even though civilization has made an inroad into the wilderness surrounding Huntington Lake, it can be seen as a bit tenuous. And there's not that much need to develop the land around the lake any further than what it already has. And try as some people might, the wilderness can't be completely conquered. It's just something that's larger than humanity can ever fully grasp. With the permanent population of the lake, it doesn't consist of anything more than a handful of people. The seasonal population that the lake sees can reach a few thousand people, but this number is in a constant state of flux and is dependent upon the season at hand. During the summer months, there is a lot of hiking trails available for people to use, and their difficulties can vary depending upon the situation. One person who decides to use one of these trails is Johnny. He's a recent college graduate who just got into hiking, and this interest started early during his senior year. After visiting the ranger station, as well as a friend of his who works at a local family camp so that he can take a look at the region maps and trails that they have there, Johnny heads out for his hike. When he heads out, Johnny has all of the necessary equipment needed for him to have a successful hike. As he is making his way through this wilderness, a freak snowstorm strikes the area, resulting in several inches of snow piling up upon the ground. Those who knew that Johnny was out in the wilderness when the storm came along became concerned for his safety. Wanting to find him, they try to start a search and rescue effort, but since the storm continued to linger and hang overhead, a proper search wasn't able to be conducted until the storm was able to clear. Once it finally did the following day, the search and rescue effort was finally able to begin. For several days, they conducted their search, but despite their best efforts, they weren't able to find any trace of Johnny. What complicated matters was the re-emergence of the snowstorm, covering up or otherwise obscuring whatever tracks might have existed that Johnny might have created. After enough time went by, the search and rescue mission turned into just a search effort. It wasn't until the end of their searching that the search party found a grisly scene. In a patch of snow, the search party found a huge patch of blood staining the snow, accompanied by what appears to be some hiking gear. It was later determined that the hiking gear belonged to Johnny. Putting two and two together, they concluded that Johnny had to have been the one who was attacked, and it is his blood that is found on the snow. Adding to this conclusion was the fact that the blood pattern is in a roughly human shape. With the amount of blood found on the snow, Johnny must have lost a significant amount of blood. So much so that he couldn't have survived the attack. Accompanying the blood and the hiking gear are huge, unnatural tracks found in the snow. It is believed that these tracks belong to the creature that attacked Johnny. With the discovery of these tracks, they were documented through photography, accompanied by the creation of a cast. With both of these pieces of evidence, the people involved did what they could to determine what animal created the tracks. However, no one is able to identify these tracks, for there is no documentation available linking these tracks to any animal known to science, either historically or contemporary. Scores of zoologists and paleontologists were approached in the hopes that they might know what the animal was that attacked Johnny, but none of them could come up with an answer. All that they could conclude is the fact that whatever attacked Johnny was a huge quadruped. They also suspect that it might be predatory in nature, looking at the cast accompanied by the information that the investigators shared with them. In desperation, cryptozoologists were consulted, but they were of absolutely no help at all in interpreting the data. What wasn't shared with either the scientists or the media was the fact that the investigators found a second set of tracks leaving the bloody scene. From what they could tell, these tracks appeared to be human. It almost appears that after getting attacked and severely mauled by an unknown creature to science, Johnny decided to get back to his feet and go roaming through the woods, an act that he had absolutely no right to do. This information is so absurd that it almost didn't make its way into the official report. but in the end it did. However, the exact wording of this part of the report was very carefully chosen as to not make it sound absurd in any possible way, and to try and give it a rational explanation. And despite this fact, the report was still sealed by the authorities for a number of different reasons. Regardless of the details that surround the investigation, what happened to Johnny that fateful day? And where was his body? There weren't any remains to be found, except for the copious amounts of blood found covering the snow. What did he happen to come across that day in the woods when the snowstorm struck? The only pieces of evidence ever found pertaining to the matter was Johnny's gear. Not even a single piece of hair was ever found. He just upped and vanished, disappearing into the woods, never to be seen again.